I'm just amazed that we're actually doing this. Space travel is actually a thing. It's actually a thing.
So what would you pay to do this?
Oh, man.
Would you pay $5,000?
If I got to go light speed in the Millennium Falcon, yeah, I'll pay $5,000. Let's go to Dagobah and talk to Yoda. I don't know.
But for 11 minutes in outer space, how much would Chet Garner
I can
pay?
find way better things to do. If you give me $1.4 million that I gotta spend on an 11-minute experience, I'd pay $1,000 for sure.
I'd pay $1,000.
Would I pay $5,000?
That's when that's when I start to go 11
That's
minutes.
when I'm like old and dying and like I got a little extra money and I don't want to leave it to my snotty kids. Like I'm gonna blow it, so like maybe I'll keep a little bit back.
Okay.
And then right before I kick the bucket and my kids think they're gonna like be able to retire.
That's cold.
Like, bam.
Dang.
Guess what? Mom and Dad are going to space, suckers. Well, howdy, y'all. It is April 2022, and you're listening to the Daytripper Podcast. Welcome back to the Daytripper World Headquarters. In studio with me, bam, Daniel Meese.
What's up?
As always, and we got John Mark mixing it up on the keys. Rear, rear, rear. He's switching. You can't see him. He's off camera.
We need a camera for him.
Yeah, I know. Just can pan over. He's just looking at the computer. That's good. We need to get him back on the podcast eventually. All right, but anyway, guys, thanks for listening in. This podcast for y'all, we have a special coupon code, coupon podcast, and you get 20% off at the Daytripper World Headquarters. So go online. That's where we have all of our merch and shirts and branded Yetis and cool maker items from all across Texas. And if you use the coupon code podcast, you get 20% off. And that brings me up to just thank y'all to everybody who has subscribed through the podcast. Remember, leave a comment, like it, review it, wherever you get your podcast, whatever. All that stuff helps a ton. So anyway, let's get into the meat of what I want to talk about just right off the top. I'm going to start a petition. There's been a movement for Texas to secede.
I mean, yeah, for a while.
Always.
I didn't know if there's something new.
No, it's nothing new. There's nothing new. The Texas militia has not taken to the hills yet to fight people off.
Of course.
I've got a different idea, and I need to work this out a little bit more in my head. I'm going to start a petition to rejoin Mexico. How about that? We're going to go. Let's rejoin. We don't need to secede. Let's just rejoin. Let's get the band back together. I think everything is, old feeling. We've buried the hatchet now. And now I'm saying this because I'm literally fresh off a plane from Cabo, and I'm like, I need this to be Texas again. But for real, I have mourned the fact, and I'm just joking, obviously, but like Mexico is an amazing country. It's full of wonderful people, wonderful food, and I'm not kidding, some of the most beautiful sights on the planet. And one of the reasons we were flying to Cabo from Austin, which is a stupidly easy flight. It's 2 hours.
Oh, gosh.
And it's direct on Southwest. But we flew over something. I looked out my window. I'm like, holy shnikes. There is the Grand Canyon is out my window. I'm like, we're not going over the Grand Canyon. So I'm looking it up. Have you ever seen Copper Canyon in Mexico?
No.
Unbelievable.
Really?
And it is probably, I bet you from where we are now in Georgetown, we could drive there in about the same amount of time it would take us to get to El Paso. But you would have to drive into Mexico.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful.
Wow.
People Google Copper Canyon and you're like, it's one of Mexico's, I guess it's probably a Mexican national park, but it's stunning.
Yeah.
And it's green. It's like the Grand Canyon, but mostly green with all kinds of stuff. It looks like you've been to the Guadalupe Mountains National Park. So imagine the Guadalupe Mountains, but inside of a canyon everywhere.
Oh, gosh.
It's beautiful.
Wow. Well, I mean, if you think about it, though, like every time we've gone to a border town, we've looked across the border and just gone, man, and I bet you nobody's climbed that mountain.
Yeah, nobody's there.
I mean, it is a poverty-stricken country, especially towards the border areas and stuff. So
well, see, here's what I'm thinking. Texas rejoins Mexico. We can help them clean it up. Well, look, it'll be not like we rushed in to save the day, but kind of. And we'll figure out their drug problem, we'll deal with all that.
Knock that out.
We'll figure out all their, the the corruption, whatever. We'll get it all done, and then we'll be one big country again, and we can go to Mexico like we're going to the store. You know?
I'll be like Gorbachev, or you can, and you'll just say, tear down that wall.
That wall that we built, we're going to pull it down. And so I'm just saying, like, Mexico is phenomenal. Like so like our swimming holes that are in Texas that, you know, we had all these wonderful swimming holes and we still do, but you know, they're definitely discovered, right? There's waiting lists now. You got to make reservations.
Of course.
Mexico has all of those and more that are just undiscovered.
Well, that's
the exciting part for me.
Yes, you can put a wall down the middle of land, but that doesn't mean that on the other side it's like a completely different place.
Yeah, it's the same.
Like,
right.
The land itself knows no boundary. So we put a wall up, and you can have politics, you can have people, all these things on either side. It really doesn't matter. The land itself is going to be beautiful.
Sure.
And so there is a lot of beautiful land over there.
Yeah,
and I would love to explore more. That would be cool.
I wish it was just easier and safer for us to get over there and explore.
It's not easily accessible right now. So
Sure.
maybe you're onto something. I don't know. I've never thought about it.
Get the band back together. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. But like
Santa Ana was playing the long game.
He was. Yeah. That's right.
I'll be
back.
back.
We broke up, and now we're like, hey guys, y'all
been thinking about it.
Again.
I've missed you.
Yeah. And then, well, another thing I noticed is like, you know, a barren landscape, and then as soon as you cross the river, because I look out my window when I fly almost the whole time. Then oil wells everywhere. How I knew we were back in Texas.
Oh, okay.
So as soon as I knew we were back in Texas, you could start to see the fracking oil wells everywhere.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You think there's no oil on that side?
Of course there is.
Yeah, of course.
The land knows no boundaries.
And it's all, you know, like untapped just because they maybe don't have the infrastructure or whatever. There's safety issues, all that. So I'm thinking we're going to work this out. I'm going to talk to my economists and we'll get there.
It's not an easy thing to accomplish, though.
No, it's not.
Think about it. Haiti. Haiti is one of the most impoverished places in the world, but they've got some of the most beautiful beaches in the world.
That's true.
You got to teach people how to better utilize their land.
And tourism is for the most part a green industry, and it brings in tons of money.
Of course.
I mean, there's of course carbon footprint, like getting there and stuff like that. But once you're there, you're not like producing nuclear waste. You're just hanging out and spending money.
So it's a vacation with my family.
It's a very good industry. It's often touted as a green industry. Yeah, I don't know where y'all are going, but all right.
If I go to Mexico, eat some of those enchiladas, I'm going to be producing some nuclear waste.
Oh, no.
Let me tell you.
Yeah. We got to shore up the plumbing all across the country. Oh man, we did eat some amazing food. But hey, this dovetails into next part. What we've been up to. I just mentioned went to Cabo. Me and Laura got a little getaway, and I've gone to the Cancun side, Playa del Carmen. I don't know, half dozen times, maybe more. Never been to Cabo, and I was blown away because one, it was so stinking easy.
Yeah.
And two, it was beautiful. I told you this, but it's like basically Cabo is El Paso, like landscape wise. So it's a big desert with the Pacific Ocean. So imagine if they dropped the Pacific Ocean in El Paso. Like, okay, that's pretty cool. It was beautiful. There were whales swimming by, humpback whales. It was awesome. Absolutely awesome.
That's so cool.
So, but anyway, fill them in. What have you been up to? Because basically this month we were doing the same things, except for Cabo.
Yeah, so you were having fun on a trip, watching whales, and I did nothing.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I worked.
Yeah. You've been editing. Yeah, sure.
No, you know what? People don't understand this sometimes. I even see comments every once in a while, but they're like, Chet, isn't your life a big vacation? It's hard for me to even keep you working on specific projects because you'll be off speaking and then you'll be off. Like I help you with your calendar and stuff like that. People have no clue how busy you are.
It's nuts.
It is insane. And then you'll come back and instantly jump into a project. I'm like, hey, I need you to do this or review this one thing. And you do that and then you're off speaking, doing another gig. And you're a busy guy. And so it's
crazy.
Well deserved. When you take a vacation, I know it's needed.
Yeah. But you know, not that I couldn't have totally ignored email, but I would look at email a couple times.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
fire some stuff off.
It's not often
just to
you take a vacation and actually disappear. Yeah.
I think as an entrepreneur, it's really hard, especially with a small team, because you guys need my feedback. And there were things, I forgot to tell them about X, so fire an email. But like, I'm pretty good at like doing that and then stopping it and then moving on to pool time. Whatever. Yeah. Like, I'm okay checking a little bit here and there just to kind of make sure that things are kind of still progressing.
Definitely. You've gotten a lot better at delegating.
I have. Yeah, that's true.
That is very hard, and props to that.
Good team too that I can actually trust.
Absolutely.
No.
And one of the hardest things I've learned is delegating versus delegating authority. Two completely different things.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's one thing to say like, hey, I want you to handle this, but then some managers will just micromanage the crud out of that person. Versus it's like, I want you to do this, and I'm trusting you. I'm going to back away. And then you delegate the authority to actually handle it. Yeah. And you come back and you're like, hey, how'd we do? And that's something that takes a long time, I think, to learn and do well. And I'm still learning it. You're still, we're all still learning it. But
for sure.
It's
thoughts.
completely side topic. I know.
Became a
leadership thoughts.
Leadership podcast right here.
Exactly.
But you're very right. Like, delegation without authority isn't really delegation at all. It's just kind of getting someone to keep the hamster wheel moving. I mean, you got to trust the people to actually finish the project.
Absolutely. And to have that, you got to trust the people around you and put those people 100%. That you really like around you. But just to quickly say, I have been editing and working a ton. Yeah. We're in a busy time of the year.
New episodes
right now.
next
month. New episodes coming out. But beyond that, we did take a quick trip after one of our last shoots and saw some family up in the DFW area.
Oh, yeah, you did some cool stuff.
And so, we went to the Perot Museum, which was always fun. I went to the Fort Worth Zoo, took the kids. Well, it was a spring break trip.
A favorite zoo in Texas, Fort Worth Zoo? What do you think?
Oh, it's at the top.
It's got to be.
It's got to be. I've always loved the San Antonio Zoo, but Fort Worth is creeping up to like probably number one spot. I mean, maybe it is. No, I mean, I don't go to the zoos that often. Yeah. And so I can't honestly remember them all well at the top of my head. But the one thing I really love about Fort Worth Zoo is there's lots of shade.
Oh, yeah.
And so Texas gets hot. People like to go to the zoo in the summertime. You don't typically go when it's like 20 degrees in February.
Sure.
And so it's nice to be constantly under shade. And so I really like that. And we got to pet stingrays. We got to see giraffes. We got to see a little bit of everything. Awesome. So it was cool. The people at Fort Worth Zoo are great people too.
Yep.
Really
and
like
a little plug for our Fort Worth episode coming out.
Yeah.
We filmed at the zoo, so that's gonna be awesome. Hey, well, one thing that we did that we're working on this Garrison Brothers documentary. And so we got to go into the rick houses with Dan Garrison and Donis Todd and sample some of that juice straight from the barrel. Holy shnikes again, to use the word that I haven't used in, I don't know. I haven't said shnikes in years.
Shnikes.
And so, but anyway, holy moly, wasn't that good?
It not only was it good, it was really good. It was really good.
So,
and there was like something really cool that we can't even talk about.
Yeah, they had some little special.
So I won't even talk about this big secret.
But man, it makes you respect Garrison Brothers so much for the artistry that they bring into it. And then, man, they're doing some wild stuff. The next few years are going to be very good for Garrison Brothers.
It's going to keep getting better and better.
Yep. All right, so we had a busy month. So did Texas. Let's go to Meanwhile in Texas.
While you've been listening to this podcast, lots of stuff's been going on in the Lone Star State. This is Meanwhile in Texas.
I'll go first. Usually I punt to you, but this was one that I saw and I'm like, oh my gosh, we're actually doing this. So there's been talk for years about space tourism, right? Like, we're all going to go to space. Like, what are we going to do there? We'll figure it out when we get there. We're going to be in space, which is cool. I'm going to space. Why?
It's like the Jetsons.
To go to space.
It'll happen. Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're not flying around in magic cars, like we're just going to space and going, yep, I'm in space. So Bezos actually today is launching a rocket up there. And I'm like, man, he's actually doing it. So these are going to be launched out of Van Horn, Texas.
Okay.
Blue Origin, his company. And he has sold seats. I think it's 6 people go up. And these are all paying customers. Like
you mean the rocket has people on it?
Rocket will have people on it.
Okay.
It is going up. They're going to space.
Well, why aren't you on it?
I'll get to that part. So William Shatner's already gone up.
Right.
Did you know that?
I knew that.
Michael Strahan has gone up. And Pete Davidson was supposed to be on this rocket.
Oh, boy.
But they delayed it a couple times because of weather, and I think he chickened out. What the heck is Pete David... Like, Pete Davidson in space?
Yeah.
That guy's bouncing around. He's everywhere now.
Clearly.
And so, like... anyway, he was supposed to be on this rocket. They moved it a couple times. He's like, all right, I'm chickening out. I guess if it's that sketchy, like on the safety of this pod, I don't want to do it. So they sold it to someone else. But here we go. I want to ask you, how much would you pay? It's 3 to 4 minutes of weightlessness. That's pretty rad. All right.
Wait, that's it?
3 to yeah.
They have airplanes, the vomit comet that just goes up and down.
But I think you get like just a couple seconds and then you barf, and then you get a couple seconds and you barf. So you go up, you get 3 to 4 minutes of weightlessness, and then you come down. In total, 11 minutes of pure space travel.
Okay.
See, but we're just going to space literally just to tell people we're in space.
What would I pay? Maybe $1,000. But I don't think that they would give it to me for $1,000. I would say like $5,000.
Well, the plan is to eventually make this, I guess, economical enough to like everybody
space travel.
That everybody goes, oh yeah, I went to space.
Yeah.
Okay, but right now they're actually not telling people what they're charging. We have a couple data points.
Okay.
They auctioned one off a couple months ago or years ago. It went for $28 million. We know that these people are paying more than $250,000.
So somewhere between $250,000 and $28
million. Somewhere in there.
Those are some quality data points.
Some people think it's about 1.4 for the people now to go to space.
Did Pete Davidson get his money back?
Let's hope so.
Well, okay,
yeah,
let me ask this. Did Pete Davidson get the Kardashians' money back? Because I don't think it was his.
Yeah, one is. This is a good point. Good point.
Oh, man.
Hopefully he bought that little like $6 travel insurance, like you can get with your...
Travel insurance. Sorry, it doesn't work if you choose to chicken out.
That's right. Yeah. So,
oh my gosh.
I can see it. Like, would you like to add $12 travel insurance to this?
Sorry, it was $28 million. He didn't check the little box.
Yeah. Nope. So anyway, I'm just amazed that we're actually doing this. Space travel is actually a thing. It's actually a thing.
So what would you pay to do this?
Oh, man. I mean...
Would you pay $5,000?
If I got to go light speed in the Millennium Falcon, yeah, I'll pay $5,000. Let's go to Dagobah and talk to Yoda. I don't know.
But for 11 minutes in outer space, how much would Chet Garner pay?
I can find way better things to do. If you give me $1.4 million that I gotta spend on an 11-minute experience,
oh man,
I'm thinking I can find better things to do.
Just a few.
Yeah, like
retire.
Retire, yeah. Right. Move to Cabo for forever. Man, I think, dude, I don't know. I'd pay $1,000 for sure.
I'd pay $1,000.
Would I pay $5,000?
That's when that's when I start to go, 11
That's
minutes.
when I'm like old and dying and like I got a little extra money and I don't want to leave it to my snotty kids. Like I'm going to blow it. So like maybe I'll keep a little bit back.
Okay.
And then right before I kick the bucket and my kids think they're going to like be able to retire.
That's cold.
Like, bam.
Dang.
Guess what? Mom and Dad are going to space, suckers. That's how it goes.
Would Laura do it?
Ooh,
she probably wouldn't want to go, would she?
She gets motion sick. So like, how is this?
It's got to be the worst.
Got to be the worst motion sickness ever.
I would think. You're going... I don't know how many G's that is, but that's enough G's to say Jesus.
Yeah, that's right. And to barf G's all over all your fellow pilots, fellow travelers. All right. So anyway, good job, Bezos. Let's hope that there's enough insanely wealthy people to continue to do this.
Crazy.
Yeah. All right, what about you?
All right. Well, just recently, I don't know if you remember this. I think you were in town during all the tornadoes and stuff, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was.
It's been a while since Texas, this area of Texas that we're in, has had those kind of tornadoes.
Oh, I know.
Touching down continually.
It was bad.
It wasn't good. It could have been a lot worse.
It could have been. It could have been. I mean, no, we didn't have any loss of life.
I don't think we did, but
you saw that Chevy truck also get flipped.
That is actually what I was going to talk about.
I love this story.
So you've seen the video?
Oh, the video's nuts.
I'm sure a lot of people have seen the video. If not, look it up. So basically,
we'll put it in the comments of this video.
It's so crazy, and it was like instantly a Chevrolet.
Tell the story.
App.
Tell the story.
So a tornado begins to touch down. It actually does touch down. You've got somebody who was filming from a different vehicle, and they're going, "Oh my gosh, there's a truck going through the tornado." Well, this truck gets flipped over.
Yep.
And then on its side, and then starts spinning 360s. Somehow the tornado flips the truck back over onto its tires.
Yep.
Where the 16-year-old who's driving it drives away. And you're like, what just happened here?
Like a rock. I was strong as I could be. I mean, shouldn't Chevy, like, that needs to be their marketing for the next 10 years.
Here's the really cool thing. Chevrolet reached out to him. I got his name right here, by the way. It's Riley Leon, 16 years old. They did reach out to him, and they got him a brand new Chevrolet truck.
Yes.
How cool is that?
Nice. And then that one, what do you do with that truck? Like, do you put it in the museum?
Yeah,
you put it in the Chevy museum.
And if you look at the after pictures, you can clearly tell, like, this kid took care of his truck. It wasn't like a beater. It was a decent. Yeah. It was older, but it was a decent looking truck, and it had perfect scratches and swirl marks right where it had just gotten flipped around by the tornado. I was like, holy cow!
Wild.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
So that's.
I mean, okay, you're the kid. They're offering you a new truck. Do you take the truck, or do you, because they're going to trade you, right? And they're going to take Tornado truck and put it in a museum. Is it worth giving up Tornado truck to get a new truck? Because I mean, I think driving Tornado truck for the rest of your life is awesome. Better than a new truck.
That's a good question.
What would you do? I'm keeping Tornado truck.
You would keep Tornado truck.
Oh yeah. Assuming it like the axle isn't all jacked.
I was gonna say
the engine isn't.
He did drive away from the tornado. We don't exactly know what happened about 10 miles down the road.
It didn't make it 10 miles. No way. No way.
In the way that the economy is going nowadays, I'd probably take the new truck.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, possibly.
You'd probably turn around and sell it for twice the price if you had to.
Oh, that yeah.
Truck prices right now. My gosh.
It's crazy.
But
it's crazy.
Very cool story. Even cooler than the truck itself is the fact that this 16-year-old was able to drive out unharmed.
Totally.
It's always great.
Totally.
And it makes a cool story. It's an awesome video to watch.
Yeah.
We're happy for him and his family.
They didn't
lose a lot.
Yeah, exactly. It could have been much worse. And after those tornadoes, I was so thankful for our emergency awareness system. We get push notifications to our phone. We have weather apps. We know when to watch the news.
Yes.
Because, you rewind 50 years, they didn't have any of that stuff. And
you had a siren and it didn't always work.
Yeah. You get blindsided by those things. You don't know to take cover.
Yeah.
So I was just very thankful that, like, we have these tools now that no doubt saved lives.
Absolutely.
With saved lives. So that's cool. That's cool. All right, moving on. Let's take some time and listen to some Texas music. So this is the Texas Music Minute, where we bring y'all a band and tell y'all a little bit about it and play one of their songs. So this one is one that's coming up. Have you heard, Daniel, of Troubadour Festival?
I have not.
Okay. Anyway,
should I have?
You should have, because this is its second year, so maybe
wait. It's a
about
band.
No, Troubadour Fest.
Oh, you're talking about the festival.
I'm talking about the festival.
Okay.
It'll lead into the band, but it's coming to Georgetown this year, in 2022.
Heard about this?
Yeah,
I did.
5 or 6 different artists are going to be playing, and then 43 barbecue joints coming together at one place. But some of the best ones, like some of our favorites, you got Brotherton's there. It's the top 50 from all over Texas. Teddy's, Tejas, There's Sunbird Barbecue, Opie's Barbecue, Kreitz, Leroy and Lewis. It's going to be unbelievable. And so Texas Music Barbecue coming to Georgetown. And they're actually doing it, I think, in 3 different places this year. Georgetown is just one of them. I don't have the other ones immediately available. But headliners, Josh Abbott Band. Awesome. That's big.
Yeah.
Willie Clark Green, he's got a huge following. John Bauman, I don't know him. But then Flatland Cavalry. Flatland Cavalry. Okay. So Flatland Cavalry is one that I've been like, I keep hearing that band, but I don't know a whole lot about them. So let's learn about them today. Here we go. And this is a shameless plug for Troubadour Fest as well. They did not pay for this placement, but I'm just super pumped that they're coming to Georgetown.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Flatland Cavalry. This is their self-described. An energetic blend of country folk Americana. Easy on the ears, heavy on the heart. I liked it.
That's
all right.
Great.
Okay.
Good.
That's good. They had a PR company write that.
Clearly.
No doubt. But anyway, the 2 lead members were roommates in Midland. Then they moved to Lubbock where the whole band got together, and they've been rocking for about 10 years.
Out in the flatlands.
So. Out in the flatlands. So Flatland Cavalry, very appropriate for a Lubbock band,
I
right?
like it. Okay.
I was going to say Flatlanders, the Flatlanders, remember Jimmy Dale Gilmore, Buddy Guy. Well, the guys, Joe Ely. No. Oh, I'm bombing them, who they are. But I love the Flatlanders. And so Flatland Cavalry, kind of, I wouldn't say in the same tradition, but kind of that cool sitting around the campfire. And here is one of their songs, Dancin Around A Fire from the Far Out West session. So this is actually live recorded around a campfire. And I give you Flatland Cavalry.
baby, when me been dancing around a fire. One misstep, falling into smoldering desire. Like moths drawn to the moonlight after the summer sun retires. Hey, baby, when me been dancing around a fire. It's just 1, 2 step from going down in flames and waltzing round the ashes in the morning, searching for the spark to blame.
All right. What do you think?
I liked it.
It's foot stomping music,
It
right?
is. You know what, though? That's the kind of music you like to just sit at a picnic table in good weather outside, drink a beer, and listen with friends.
That's right. And so, like, I love it. That's right up my alley. I'm going to be listening to a lot more Flatland, and then I'm going to get ready for Troubadour Fest. It's going to be absolutely awesome.
I can't wait.
Our friends Josh Abbott Band will be there. That's going to be a good party. You're going to be listening to that, sitting, eating barbecue.
Barbecue and
That's
beer.
where
baby.
it's at, my friends.
Hey, don't tell too many people.
Oh man, I guess there's tickets. You have to buy tickets. So as soon as it's sold out, it done sold out.
Do we have to buy tickets?
I'll make a call for us. Yes. I'll make a call. Okay. I'll make a call.
Y'all got to buy tickets for $1,000 each. You don't want to go. It's going to be too packed.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Now, one of our favorite parts, questions from the back seat.
Are we there yet? Hey, can you pass me the snacks? When are we gonna stop? I gotta go.
Okay, we got a few. Two of these, I don't know who they came from, so we'll start with one that we get quite a bit.
Okay.
Chet, how do you eat so much and not weigh a ton? And that's the most common question I get.
Oh, I've never heard that one.
I know, right? Yeah. People think that I eat queso-covered chicken fried steaks like every day for lunch. And while I do enjoy a good queso-covered chicken fried steak, if I did that every day, I'd be a dead man already.
The truth is, you take the first few bites for the camera, and then you usually have to walk away, do an interview with the local newspaper.
Yeah, we're bouncing.
And
Daniel eats the rest. There's been a lot of times they're like, all right, Chet, you're done. I'm like, oh, but I still have thoughts.
Nope, sorry, we need you over here now.
Pass it over here. No, the trick is just you can't eat like you're on a day trip every day. Day trip's like special. You're going to go out, have some fun, cut loose, but like, you got to rein it in, man, during the week.
You do. And here's something else. Like, I remember the very first shoot I was on. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Like, we get to eat all the stuff we want, and then you're on a shoot. Like, I'm working.
Yeah.
And you don't think about that. John Mark's already laughing because he knows.
He knows.
Like,
you don't think
the
about
first
the
time
chicken fried
like,
steak nap afterwards.
I'll have a chicken fried steak at 11 o'clock, a.m.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden 1 o'clock rolls around. You're like, we have to keep working. I don't feel like it. You're like, sorry.
I think I ate too much.
From that
Easter
point on,
candy.
we're like, all these dudes are walking in going, yeah, do you have any salads? I'll just take a nice little sandwich.
Yeah. The nice caprese or maybe something light. That's Todd. Todd's always like, we can just get something light like a chicken salad or something.
I used to laugh, but now I'm kind of like,
Yeah, we probably do.
If it's, I will say dinner time though, it's like our day's done. Everybody's like, all right, what do we got? Steak, chicken fried steak, hamburger. Yeah, let's go.
Mm-hmm. All right, this next question comes from Tinley Nyman. And actually, we've answered one of her questions before about favorite places in Lubbock. But it says this: Hi, Chet. I asked you a question about your favorite place in Lubbock, and I was wanting to ask, what are your favorite food places around Texas? That's a huge question. Favorite food place around Texas? I think let's go categorical.
Okay.
You want steak? Where do you go? I'm gonna go to Perini Ranch Steakhouse.
Oh, really?
Abilene. Yeah, I think so.
No, that's
probably
great.
the best
That's a
steak
great
I've
steak.
had.
Okay.
Yeah, steak. Where are you going?
My backyard.
Oh, dang.
It's a cop out, but
yeah.
I don't like to get steaks at places that often because I can make a good steak at home, but I don't make great fish.
Oh, yeah.
It's not even like what I can make good. It's just that like if I want good fish, I usually don't go buy like,
sure.
Name it. I don't know. Say it's some sort of fish and then make it at home. So I'm more likely to get it if I go out.
Go out.
Sushi.
Yeah, it's something special. Sushi. Okay. Okay. Yeah, there's good stuff.
Okay. How about
seafood? How about seafood? You have one?
Oh, favorite seafood.
King's Inn in Kingsville. You order seafood by the pound there. They don't even have platters. That was awesome.
I know a lot more local places that people wouldn't know as much about.
Oh, okay.
So, how about, let me ask you this, because this is a good question. Favorite Mexican food that you've had, or I don't want to say Mexican, I want to say Tex-Mex.
Okay.
Favorite Tex-Mex in all of Texas that you've had.
Oh, gosh.
What do you think?
I can't answer that.
It's also pretty hard.
That's hard. Man, I will say there's some places we filmed that really stand out. Mariano's in Arlington, who invented the frozen margarita machine. They knock classic Tex-Mex out of the park. It is just right there. It's perfect.
If you want enchiladas, where would you go?
Oh, gosh.
If you want some chicken enchiladas.
Chicken enchiladas Suizas.
Yes.
I'll say this. My favorite Tex-Mex chain by far is Chewy's. Oh, dude, Chewy's.
People are going to make fun of me all
day
for that.
Give me some boom boom sauce right there.
The
Dang.
Nothing wrong with it.
Or, at Lupe Tortilla, we used to drive to Houston to eat at Lupe Tortilla.
Did you really?
Well, anytime we were in the area, we would drive an hour out of our way to go there.
Get some tortillas.
On the way to something. Because the beef fajitas are lights out delicious.
Oh, wow.
And now the Lupes are here in Austin and Round Rock area. We don't ever eat there anymore. No. We used to eat there way more when it was only in Houston. But Lupes is phenomenal. I mean, gosh, that's hard. Because what I love about Tex-Mex is just your greasy hole-in-the-wall Tex-Mex place, you know?
Same.
Like, we had phenomenal Tex-Mex in Castroville. The place was no bigger than our studio, and it was good. Homemade tortillas, everything was like, this is legit.
If you want good Mexican / Tex-Mex, I would say go to the local place that is near you. And if it says, like, Mariachi de Jalisco number 52...
Yeah.
That's how you know.
That's going to be good.
And if number 52 isn't great, maybe you need to try number 51.
Yeah.
It might have been, a little better.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, like, some of those places are just, like, the best.
And they're hole in the walls. And,
they might be half honestly, gas station, half Mexican food. Yeah. Give it a shot. If it doesn't taste great, don't go there again.
Right.
But if it does, keep going and support them. Local businesses, man.
Local businesses for sure.
Yeah.
All right, last question. Why do you wear that hipster hat? I like
that one's not as hipster.
No, I mean, it's technically the exact same, like,
it's just straw. Yeah.
It's just straw. Yeah.
It's so funny. It's like the material can change people's perception of it.
Yeah, this one looks more country. It looks more cowboy.
If that was felt.
I believe they're talking about the Stetson Open Road.
I know.
And, like, that one to me is classic Texas. Was LBJ the original hipster? Is that why? I will say hipsters have definitely commandeered that hat. It has gotten a lot more popular.
Yeah.
I started wearing it. People are like, oh, that's an old man hat. Now it's everywhere. So did I start the trend? I'm not saying I did, but I'm not saying I didn't either. I'm just kidding. I really didn't. But it has kind of, I was actually talking to Laura the other day about it. I was like, is this hat now too popular for me to wear? And now I need to find my next signature hat. You know, those people who are in TV. Yeah, but like, part of me is like, just do something stupid. Like, he wears a hat with Bojangles around it now. Like, Chet, you look so stupid. And then everybody going to be wearing Bojangle hats.
Your next cowboy hat needs to have, like, little frills that hang off. Have you seen, like, when people have the jackets?
That's what I'm talking about. Like Daniel Boone fringe.
Hey, what's the guy? The guy
Orville Peck, the
guy who
sings.
Orville Peck.
That's what you need. He's a country artist. You can't see his face because he wears these ridiculous fringe masks. It's the mystery. He wants mystery. Yeah. He wants mystery. So
the mystery tripper.
Dude, we can increase efficiency because the jangles will cover my face. You won't actually know if it's me. You can't see me do anything. And I'll just voice over it from the studio. We'll make twice the amount of episodes.
There you go.
Sometimes it's like a 6'5" guy, like, oh yeah, Chet. And other times it could be a lady. You don't know, but I'll just voice it all. All right. That was fun. Let's jump into fan rants and musings.
Hey, Daytripper, I got a bone to pick with you. Oh my goodness, it's the Daytripper. We love your show.
Okay, this one comes from Mike Harris. Actually, I'll read his first. This one is a not so good one. He's just got to get something off his chest. He says, let me say I really enjoy your show. I wish it was on year round. It is. It's reruns most of the year, but I do need to make a small complaint though. This season, I have noticed the camera is jerking around randomly. While a slow pan left and right as well as up and down is good and can emphasize a scene, the jerky movements only tend to make me nauseous, and I don't even get car sick. Please stop the practice of random jerky camera movements.
Dang, I feel like I'm hit. That's me.
I put that in there because that's all. Yeah, that's your fault, Daniel.
I wish he would have said like a specific episode or something.
He's watching older ones or something.
Maybe so.
I feel like we've gotten better.
Go
watch season 1 and you'll barf all over yourself. There's some crazy stuff in that one.
Camera technology's actually gotten better, especially with us over the years.
Oh, for sure.
And I think that as we've grown, we've typically adapted a little bit of a newer style of shooting.
Yeah, we're always adjusting, right?
We're always adjusting. I mean, we're not trying to make it something it's not, but at the same time, like, we want to keep up technology-wise. We're shooting in 4K now. Like, we're doing all kinds of cool stuff.
I need to ask Mike what he's talking about.
I'd love to know because, hey, if he actually can point out a specific thing, maybe I could go, you know what, that's a good suggestion. Yeah. But right now, it's just a complaint.
Yeah.
And I can't even think of what he's talking about, to be honest.
We have smoothed out a show a lot. Not to say, you got to take criticism. You got to take it on honest, fair criticism. You got to take that.
Absolutely.
But man, How far we've come? We've come so far.
Oh, yeah.
All right. This one was somewhat interesting. Mary Broussard, Hangar 6 Air Cafe. That was in Uvalde.
Yes. Yep.
Very disappointed and disgraced, but not about the food.
Oh.
The American flag shown was too tattered to be shown. Oh, maybe she didn't even eat there.
You know what? I do remember that.
Too tattered to be shown, needed to be replaced. Would you mind letting me know and editing this episode when they do a new flag? It was the one outside blowing in the wind.
I wasn't on that shoot. I think it was Richie and John Mark that was actually on that. And I remember specifically thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Somehow that did make it in, which is, again, back on me because I was the post supervisor.
Yeah.
Sometimes you work with what you got.
Yeah,
I just remember
flying.
it was extremely windy when y'all
that
were
thing
there.
had been beat up because it was by the airport.
It's by the airport. That's just kind of one of those things. I mean, we're not trying to change the locations. We're trying to capture it and show you what it is. So, is it offensive that the flag was tattered? I mean, some people could think so. Some people could just say, hey, this place has had this flag for a long time. Yep. If you are offended by it, maybe you should reach out to them and buy them a new flag.
Oh, there you go. Sponsor a new flag. Sponsor a new flag.
For sure. But we can't edit that out, unfortunately. It kind of is what it is.
Yeah, totally is what it is. Totally is what it is.
But thank you for your comment.
We do appreciate good and bad. All right, here we go. Here's one, and I'll end with this. We got a notification. It's kind of a sad one, but Tommy Knotts, who we featured in a Bandera show, he was one of the gunfighters. He has passed away.
Oh,
yeah, he was a good guy.
Yep.
And so the gunfighters are having a tribute, and I'll plug this if anybody wants to go to Bandera. Tommy was a phenomenal guy. He was the trail boss of the Bandera Cattle Company gunfighters. There is someone wrote in to let me know. Saturday, April 2nd, so coming up very soon, 11 a.m. at Rattlesnake Ridge behind the Visitor Center, there will be a tribute to Tommy followed by a skit. Annie Monson wrote that in. To let us know. So I appreciate her letting us know. If anybody else wants to go down there, they do that. Their show is awesome.
It's very cool.
And Tommy was the trail boss. There were a lot of people who participated, so I hope it will go on and carry on his legacy. But he was super gracious, and those guys were so much fun.
They were a lot of fun.
They played along with us and all of our stupid ideas pros.
They added to it. They were like, well, why don't you do this? Yeah. And we're like, all right, let's do it.
It was awesome.
Tommy, you'll be missed. And shout out to the family. Prayers to the family.
For sure.
I'll have a drink of Garrison Brothers tonight. And
raise one to Tommy. Raise one to Tommy. He was a great guy. All right. So that concludes our podcast. You guys remember, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, or, subscribe anywhere you get your podcast. Leave us a comment, leave us a review. All that stuff helps the podcast grow and get bigger. Shout out to John Mark for mixing it up over on the switcher. Cut to the John Mark angle. It doesn't exist. And so remember, you can get 20% off if you use the coupon code podcast on our online store. And thank y'all guys very much for tuning in.
Hey, thanks, and see y'all next time.
And vaya con Dios, amigos.